well, this is like kind of a sidebar, but food at grocery store, there's a ton of I'm not going to say wiggle room. How do I want to put this?
Elasticity.
Kind of. They're price setters to a degree, not price takers. So if I run a grocery store, the amount of I charge for food, I have control over that. I can set prices.
A lot.
Well, shopping. I mean, okay, so this is maybe one way to show this is if you are on food stamps, they do not re-up food stamps on the first of the month. You are given like some type of, either it's like a day or over the first 15 days, but you do not give every person in your state on food stamps a re-up of food on the first of the month, because if you did it that way,
everybody would go to the store in the same day.
And grocery stores would raise prices to recognize that, especially for the foods that people on food stamps bought. And in fact, when they used to do it that way, you could take scanner data from grocery stores, and absolutely they had higher prices at the start of the month for bulk food, especially frozen food that poor people would buy. And then at the end of the month, those prices would be a lot lower. And so you could see the month to like over the month movement in the price of goods that people on food stamps were more likely to buy based on when the food stamps were allotted. So it's like, all right, y'all, easy fix, like randomize it throughout the month. But okay, then they randomize it throughout the month, which means when you're on food stamps, you do not eat consistently over the month, because food stamps is never enough to cover everyone's meals. So typically you eat best the first week, and you eat worse the last week. And now, instead of that all being aligned, now that's like split up across the population. So a group of researchers went in and they looked at kids' SAT scores and backtracked it to where they were in their monthly food stamp allotment. And this is one of the like seminal findings of your SAT score is slightly lower if you had to take it the last week before you got food stamps as opposed to the first week.
God,
that wasn't even school
lunch.
Who
thought of that? That's like it's genius.
That wasn't even school lunch. It wasn't even school lunch. Like it was food stamps, not even school lunch. So then, you have that in hand and you're like, kids are doing worse on the SAT because food stamps aren't adequate. Give these kids meals twice a day at school. Like it becomes a really compelling argument. And I think this is why I think it's ultimately a very American, like probably more conservative leaning argument, is that if this economy in this country is truly about getting ahead on your own merit, you need to put meals in school, because we have a very clear link from were you hungry to how well did you perform on a test. And you are letting rich kids who never have to worry about food get an advantage over poor kids based on how hungry they are. So if you truly think America is about meritocracy, then you cannot let kids like coast off of the fact that because they're well fed, they do better in school.
Yeah, like being hungry should be a level playing field.
Not being hungry should be a level playing field, and let people's actual merits determine what happens to them in school, because you're ranked in school. You're competing against other kids, and you shouldn't have to compete on your parents feeding you.